Hey everyone, this is Rachel and I'm here for another episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. I am going to go ahead and start right off by telling you I have already pre-gessoed this layout. We are using this sketch from Scrapbook Generation. Now in the sketch you'll notice there is a bunch of strips of paper, but I was thinking, what if I used mixed media instead of pattern paper, and I thought that would be really fun and really cool, and it turned out that way. Now in the original sketch also they used 3x4 photos. I am using 4x6 photos, so obviously it's going to change a little bit. So I have these three colors of Dazzlers by Shimmer's Paints. They are Coral Me Crazy, See You in the Morning, and Pucker Up Pink. So what I'm going to do is each of those tire tracky, zigzaggy, chevron-y style things is going to get its own color. Now you'll see I took a pen and I kind of marked where it was going to stop, and I apologize. I have my windows open because it's raining, but it's not hot out, so I'm having the fresh air in the house, which is kind of nice considering it is warm here most of the summer. Anyways, as I was saying, I used my pen to mark how far down the mixed media had to go before it would be covered by the photos, and then I completely ignored that and went all the way down anyways. So I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, I only need to use this much, and then I get playing and it's like, oh yeah, I only need to do half of that. Alright, so I'm going to do from the top down, and then I'm going to flip it over and do from the bottom up, and I did so much more of that paint, had that really hot pink than I needed to do, so I'm going to remember on the bottom half that I only need to do about part of the way up with that coral, and then just a little bit more with the See You in the Morning, that tealy aqua color, and then I do actually need to do more of the pink. Not as much as I ended up doing, but more than I needed to do on the top. So once I get those down, I'm going to clean up all my stuff, clean up my stencil. Everything is dry. Yay, we're good. Now you'll see there's a little bit of a blippy mistake up in the hot pink on the right-hand side. Don't worry, I am going to cover that up with embellishments. That is why we embellish, people. Hello? Okay. So I get my photos here, and one of the things I really liked about using this sketch for these particular photos is that there's a giant garbage can in the middle of my photo. It's one of those photos where it was one of my nephew's concerts, and they line up on the stairs before they go into the theater, and I was outside helping to run the raffles they have, and I happened to look over and see them all there, and I've seen them do that, since 6th grade, and now they're all of the kids that are in his grade are at 10th grade at this point, so it was just one of those moments, so I took pictures. I didn't notice until afterward that there was a garbage can there. So part of the sketch includes covering up a section of the photograph. Okay, moving on. So as you can see, I took some branding strips. I'm using Felicity Jane. I believe this is Emmeline. And in the sketch, there were stripes of different widths, and I'm looking at them, and I don't like it. But I double-check with my housemate. I'm like, does this look horrible? And she's like, yes, it does. And like, does that look better? Oh, much better. Okay, good. Okay, good. We're working this way then. We're gonna nix the branding strips. So now that I've got the background all set, I'm going to put a little bit of layering into my photos, or at least one. I don't remember if I did both or just the front one. I do have this tone-on-tone pink diagonal stripe, and these I believe they all come from either the Emmeline or the Felicity Jane kit. I do not remember off the top of my head, and it's too tiny in my little screen to be able to see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my second photo and mat it on this gray and white diagonal stripe. I got a lot of stripes going on in this particular layout, but they're very subtle stripes, so they all work together. This layout turned out really nice in the end. I was very happy with the way it turned out, especially when I took such a different take on the sketch. Even though the sketch looks the same, the materials I used for it ended up being different. So I'm liking the way this looks, so I'm going to go ahead and get my two photos put together. And it's so cute. They always line up like this. And that's the first kid on the bottom stair sitting down. That's actually my nephew's best friend. So I got one photo of him looking at the camera and then one photo of my nephew. Now my nephew is all the way at the top of the stairs. If you look at that top photo where that pink striping meets right there, that's where my nephew is. So I got one photo with his best friend looking at the camera and one photo with him looking at the camera. So it worked out well, even though it is a big group shot and you won't necessarily, unless you know exactly who you're looking for, know who it is. Alright, so I pull out this 3x4 cut apart card, and this also came in the Felicity Jane kit. And I go ahead and I round the corners. At first I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just round the top 2 corners. And then I went, nope, has to be all 4. That looks ridiculous. And now I'm pulling out some of these. Now she's moved on to die cuts, but for several of her older kits, she had these sticker pieces that you would have to fussy cut out. So these word and phrase 2-tone stickers are part of that, as is that tag, so it is sticky backed as opposed to a die cut. I also pulled out that flare that also comes from Felicity Jane. I don't know which line it came out with. It was just, I buy a whole bunch whenever I buy some paper packs from her. And I mentioned in several videos, I always feel like I'm repeating myself, but I realize not everyone watches every single video. I don't actually subscribe to the Felicity Jane kits. I just, when I follow her company on Instagram, and when I see she's having a sale, I'll go and buy whatever paper packs or flare, and sometimes occasionally an embellishment, just of what she has left over that hasn't sold out, just because I like her style, even though I don't subscribe to her kits, because all of her kits have stamp sets in them, and I don't need a monthly stamp set. I really don't. I just don't use them for my scrapbooking. So I'm now poking through, looking at trying to do my title. I'm going to do for a very small, subtle title, and it's going to be almost there. So as I was mentioning before, talking about the photographs, I've been watching them do band for, since he was in 4th grade, at this particular school since he was in 6th grade, twice a year, well, 3 times, because they have a pop concert at the end of the year. And I'm poking through looking for a small alphabet to do the word almost. I am out of, I believe, T's in my Tim Holtz Tiny Type, and then I'm out of the ones from this Jelly Bean Soup, and I do eventually find one that will work, but it does take me a few minutes to poke through things. So I will talk about what my journaling is going to be about, which is just that, he's been doing concerts now 3 a year at this school, so 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So that's 5 years, 5 times 3, so this is 15 concerts he's done. This was his 15th, and just talking about he only has 2 more years to go before, he's completely finished with this particular experience of high school or middle school concerts. So I was just journaling about that. He's headed into where he's going to be training to be a band, drum major. He's a drum major in training next year. So, it's an exciting time for him. So, anyways, I'm kind of just blathering on at this point. Alright, so I'm going to get those stickers down, and I did find an mini alpha to use for the word almost. Those are from Authentique, and they're kind of like a grayish navy color. So I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling. While I do that, I'm going to make sure to say, head on over to Christy's channel and check out her take on this sketch. I'm sure it will be amazing, as always. Now, once I finish this, I know you're going to be shocked, but I really don't do a lot more embellishing. I add a liberal amount of mist, and then I add some enamel dots, but that is it. I keep it very simple on this layout because I really think the mixed media on this particular layout is the showstopper. I am going to, as I said, go pretty liberally with the mist. I'm going to start off using my Heidi Swapp Color Shine in pink. In the end, I don't find it to be the exact right color, so I go back and add something from Shimmers, but I'm going to start off with 3 colors from Heidi Swapp. The reason being, I find the Heidi Swapp color shine dries more epoxy-like, like the same type of way the Dazzlers dry, whereas the shimmers, while super glimmery and everything, they just don't have the same finish. So I use the pink, then I use the mint, and then I finish off with the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in peach. Then, as I said, that color pink isn't exactly what I'm looking for, so I go over to my shimmers vibes and I pull out a one, I believe it's called Razzle Dazzleberry. Now before I do that, I do pull out 2 packages of enamel dots. This one is Party Time. They're both, I believe they're both by Simple Stories. Yes, they are. Both by Simple Stories, yeah, Party Time. And that is that kind of pinkish purpley one, and then the teal one up at the top. And then I pull out this one, the Life in Color. And I own nothing, almost nothing from Life in Color except the enamel dots. I have no willpower against them. They're just, I love them so much. And that, I get a peachy pink. And now, as I said before, I go over to my shimmers and I pull out the Razzle Dazzleberry, which always reminds me of Mr. Magoo's Christmas. With raspberry dressing, or raspberry sauce. Whatever. Alright, folks, I am done. I am babbling once again. Have a great day. Enjoy. And check out Christy's take. Alright, bye, folks.